Welcome to CSN the Network Podcast. This is your host, Kayvon Cutler, with my amazing co-host, Dree Nazario and Malik Hampton. How are y'all doing this evening?
I'm good, man. Happy to be here. Happy to pod. How's everybody today?
Y'all know me, blessed and highly favored. Good day to be here. Great day to pod. I think I said that in reverse this time. But y'all get the point. We here for another episode. How you feeling, brother?
Y'all know the vibes. Definitely blessed. Doing better now that I'm talking to you two. I won't lie. I'm a little on edge because my Niners lost to Malik's team and we should have won that game. I mean, just point blank. I am pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I've been on edge the past couple days. But yeah, so it's all good. Blessed to see another day. And I'm ready to pod, man. Let's hop right into it. We got a great weekend ahead of us of some good football. So I'm ready to tap right in, man.
Yep. As we know and as we remind them every week, it is football season. So we're in week 3. It just wrapped up. What are some of your biggest takeaways from this past weekend's games?
NFL or just college? Which one are we talking? It don't
We
matter.
talking we talking NFL first.
NFL. NFL for me, it'd definitely be the Vikings. The Vikings, they've been playing great defense. Sam Darnold's been looking good, man. Uh, so one of my takeaways is the Vikings look for real, you know, for sure. The Steelers are leading the division. I don't think anybody had that happening, even if it's only 4 weeks in. I don't think nobody had that happening like at this point. Um, and last but not least, I told you I seen some holes in the Chiefs defense, you know, for sure. And I think some of that showed up again versus the Falcons. But it's looking like a good chance they can repeat for real, for real. From the landscape that I'm seeing from this first quarter of the season, man, like, yeah, of
Across
course,
the
there's,
league.
whoever gets hot, of course, it can always be any given Sunday, but I think that they might, I think they just might be the best overall team again, which is crazy, because Travis Kelce isn't going crazy. But that's probably my biggest takeaways from the weekend for sure.
And to your point, and I started tight end in high school, so please don't remotely interpret this as I'm trying to downplay the position. But Malik and I, we were having a conversation one day in the group chat, and I asked him, I'm like, bro, why do you think tight ends are not as valued as much in the NFL? And he's like, bro, because you don't necessarily need a good tight end to have a successful offense. And that has, been shown to have proof in what he just said, with the Chiefs, with the success they've had. Of course, in years past, he's been a big piece. But with the Ravens, Malik, you see Mark Andrews. I know you saying that because you be on Twitter like I do, that little article. It's like a quick little article where all the numbers are down, not just for receivers, but significantly down for tight ends. So that just shows your point, that you can still have a great offense and not necessarily, have to utilize your tight end as much, as far as volume is concerned. Some of my biggest takeaways, though, Malik, one of the things that stuck out to me is how good the Packers are. They're still looking good despite the injury to Jordan Love, and Malik Willis is holding it down. So that's one thing for me because we gotta look at some of those teams that's going to be there potentially in the playoffs, and also the Bills. I just had a conversation with one of my colleagues as we got out of football practice, and they are really showing that I don't have to have a big name receiver or pay him, a whole bunch of millions. We could do it as a collaborative effort. As far as the receiver room and we could rock like that. Like I'm very surprised that they put up the points that they did against Jacksonville in reference to Buffalo, Malik. But when you got a good quarterback like Josh Allen that can make moves, that make plays and extend plays, he's super athletic, that just takes over the team, inspires the whole team as far as momentum, giving them confidence because they see how hard their quarterback is going. So those were some of my biggest takeaways with, again, the lack of production, across the league from the tight end position, and also how good uh, as well as the Steelers, how good the Steelers look, how good the Packers look despite the injuries, as well as the Buffalo Bills, losing Stephon Diggs. So those are some of my biggest takeaways in the NFL.
Word to it. Speaking of the Buffalo Bills, with their recent success, are they showing that they didn't need Stephon Diggs?
I think I mean the second half of last year when they changed the offense up, I mean, I think that proved that they didn't even, need, big, I guess a big time target or, a big number one target. Uh, I want to give Josh Allen some credit for being able to change his game in a way, they're not really, you know, uh, they're not really taking as many shots downfield and putting the balls in harm's way. It's more so like, a little surgical, as far as the way that they operate now. But I think the second half of last year when I mean, to be honest with you, the real reason why they did it is because Josh Allen was turning the ball over too much, so they had to switch the offense. And then within switching the offense, you know, um, you don't really need, you're not going to take as much shots, so you don't really need that number one receiver, to open up the field, as much, But I think they 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 already showed that they didn't need Diggs to put up his big numbers to be able to be successful with how they switched the offense last year midseason. So they're
Do we
just,
think that's why he left, essentially?
I mean, I'm sure that's why they got rid of him, seeing that they knew Josh could play that way. I'm sure that helped them out a lot because I'm sure it helped the books. Getting a top tier receiver like that off the books. Being able to do other things with your roster. So yeah, I mean, I think it played a factor in it. And him and Allen was butting heads anyway, due to Josh Allen turning the ball over. If we must be specific, as to why they were butting heads, it wasn't necessarily he wasn't getting his touches. It was just that they were losing games, because Stephon Diggs still had elite numbers last year. If you go look it up, But yeah, I think they've shown it already. Shout out to Josh Allen again though for being able to switch his game up. Still running the ball, still, moving the chains with his legs, but he's not being as risky with the ball now. So applaud to him for sure.
Nah, for sure. And Malik, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask. Excuse me, if we didn't add that they also lost Gabe Davis. So they lost both of their top two receivers, right? And they've shown that they weren't needed. You know what I mean? That's not a knock to their talent. Malik just went through, schematically how they changed up what they were doing. So having a high volume receiver like that isn't necessarily uh, a necessity at this point because of the lack of volume, right? The lack of shots that they're taking now. Um,
I'm not
I'm
that high
just
on Gabe Davis, bro. I
neither
think
am I.
he's a deep shot, but I mean,
Yeah, no,
he
neither.
always disappeared, like so
In big games,
it
yeah. But yeah, no, he's definitely showing that, man. It's crazy. It's gonna be interesting to see, Malik, to your point, as far as money, what they're gonna do as far as building that roster around him. Because if they can continue this, because I like the tight ends that he has, you know what I mean? So, and Keon Coleman, I think he will show promise. We got to give the young bull time to develop, but yeah, they doing their thing, man. So to answer your question, yeah, they have shown that they aren't needed, and they continue to show it. And that's no knock to Stephon Diggs because he balling down there in Houston. Had a great game this past Sunday against his former team in Minnesota. So it
I
just
don't have the I don't think they can win it though. But I mean, winning the division, things of that nature for sure. But I don't think they got a championship roster at all.
got you. Respect. I can
That'll
and I can see that. You know what I'm saying? We just got to. I'm really shocked. So I want to hold off judgment because I want to continue how they see how they play in bigger games. You know what I mean? But off just eye test And looking at the roster, no, they don't have a championship roster. But I am surprised by how they playing. They playing
Josh
well.
Allen good though. I mean, that's a he definitely carrying them for sure.
Yeah. He's stamping. He top five right now.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's a question at all.
Yeah.
Who do you all think is better, Caleb Williams or JT Daniels?
I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm a hold judgment again. I'd like to give them more time. You know what I'm saying? We were always high on JT Daniels, especially when he was at Arizona State. That's where we first saw him. You know what I mean? He balled out at LSU, won the Heisman, put up crazy, crazy, crazy numbers. I just think they are in two different situations, Malik. Yeah, Caleb Williams has weapons over there in Chicago, but that's still not the greatest O line. They don't have no run game. So, excuse me, they don't have a run game. Double negative. So it's what can you do, right? I'm not trying to make excuses for Caleb Williams. Again, I just think they dealt two different cards. So I want to continue to hold off judgment. But is JT Daniels more athletic? Absolutely. Is he more dual threat due to his athleticism? Absolutely. But arm talent, just what I was able to see from Caleb Williams in college, it makes it tough. Because again, we are very high on JT Daniels. I think, bruh, got a great arm. Uh, I love the arm angles that he uses to throw off platform. Think he throws with great touch, super accurate. So I like JT. It's really just a matter of what you like. But I'm interested to see what you think, Malik, because you made a bold statement today in the group chat. So I thought it'd be interesting if we discussed it on the show. So what you think though, Brody?
Um, I think Daniels is better from what I've seen. Uh, I know a lot of people will make excuses, for Caleb Williams and what they had, but technically the Bears weren't the number one pick. Technically, the Commanders were the worst team last year, between the two. That same offensive line last year, the Bears had a top 10 rushing team, um, and they played defense well, where I was about to call them the Redskins, but the Commanders, it was a lot of what's your boy's name? Sam Howell throwing a lot of picks, them slinging the ball around, not always having a run game. I think Daniels it's hard for me to say because Daniels don't like to run if you really watch it. Like he takes off when he has to, or it takes off within like, if they call a QB run or something, but he's really looking to pass most of the time, and he is accurate. He can make every throw, just from what I've seen, he's looked more poised, you know, um, I don't know, the major differences in the offenses, as far as like, what they're doing schematically, but I do know that, he looks way more comfortable. It's a couple rookie QBs that look way more comfortable than Caleb Williams right now. Not saying that they better than him, but Jaden Daniels, ain't turned the ball over, ain't punted in 2 weeks. Like he looked good. You know what I'm saying? Like he just looked like he knows how to play the position. So if they could continue to build off of what they got right there, I think the sky's the limit because at the end of the day, he can take off and run. He can hurt you with his legs. Like, that's a whole element that I know that they not trying to really push too hard too early, but if stuff gets shaky and they need to use that, they can. Whereas with Caleb, I don't know if they can as much, but yeah, it's just a poise thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just seeing it better. He's letting the ball go, quicker, not hesitating like Caleb's hesitating. He's not putting the ball like in stupid harm's way like Caleb is. Caleb's trying to, make a lot of plays. So uh, for that, he's pressing, and it hasn't been such a great start for him. But I will say that, long term, depending on, like I said, depending on what Jaden wants to do with his career, as far as using his legs, you know, um, I could see Caleb having a higher ceiling because he could be more of a pocket passer, a ball distributor, you know. But that's if he learns how to take the check downs. That's if he learns how to play within the system. That's if he learns how to not try to be superhero or make a play, every time he drops back, because that'll get you in trouble in the league. You gotta be able to trust your playmakers and get them the ball and allow them to do their thing. They get paid too. And I see Jaden Daniels just doing that uh, better and more right now. It is early, but I like what I've seen from Jaden Daniels for sure.
Word. So Kay talked a little bit about it earlier today in reference to his 49ers kind of showing a disappointing showing these last couple of weeks. But they aren't the only team. You also got the Cowboys. So with that being said, are the 49ers and the Cowboys in trouble if they lose their game in week 4? So this week coming up.
Man, I want to say yes so bad, for real, for real. I do want to say yes. Um, to be honest with you, it all depends. I'm not a believer in Seattle, so I feel like they'll start losing games eventually, you know. But that's just me. I'm not the highest on, Geno's ceiling,
Yeah,
so
I was about to ask why, because remember I've been saying since before the season started, I thought they would be formidable. It's just because Geno, you don't trust
I
Geno.
think I don't trust Geno for real. I think he got a ceiling, he does this every year, and I'm not saying he played bad last year, but just, when the games get tight, when the chips get pushed into the table, normally Geno don't come through,
Yeah, that is
so
true.
um, I'm not big on Seattle right now. Um, so I think the Niners, still got a shot now because us, the Cardinals and the Niners are all 1-2, you know. So I think they still got a shot. And then the NFC East, the Cowboys, as much as I want to say, for them, I think for them, though, it's more of their season will be over than the Niners. And I only say that because, and I'm not the biggest on Philly either, I'm really not at all.
They got
Um,
holes too.
they got major holes for sure. And Jalen Hurts is turning the ball over crazy, just putting that out there. But I think the Cowboys, what's wrong with the Cowboys? See, the Niners got people hurt. The Cowboys ain't got people hurt like the Niners or some of these other teams. That's battling through injuries and playing good teams. The Cowboys can't stop the run. People just legit just running straight at them. Bullying them off the field. Uh, and I don't know how that truly gets fixed. For us, we always like. I was talking to the homie Coney about it. Like for us, as far as the Rams, we always used to have a problem with y'all specifically. Speaking on the 49ers and the way y'all ran the ball, and just how undisciplined we was and gaps and stuff like that. I say that to say the Cowboys don't have that problem. Like we're just one team, just gives them trouble. Everybody can run at the Cowboys. That is the way to beat the Cowboys. So I think they're more in trouble than the Niners. But I don't think either one of them want to lose this next game at all, for sure.
And I agree. I'm gonna go ahead and switch pivots a little bit. I do want to say, Malik, that we are in trouble if we do lose this game. It's a team we should beat. We at home. You know what I mean? We hosting the Patriots. You feel me? I understand and I appreciate the bail. You trying to shoot us because of the injuries, but this past Sunday, man, we went up on y'all 14-0. Y'all missing y'all's two top receivers. Like it's no excuse for that, man. Stafford had Tutu Atwell looking like he was a problem for real. He was doing whatever he wanted to out there. And that's one of our issues too, as well, Malik. We're struggling stopping the run. That's the issue. You know what I mean? Y'all was running the ball against us with no problem. Now, granted, I love the offensive scheme because it's very similar to what we do, and y'all do have a talented roster still, despite the injuries. But I just don't, with how competitive our division is, I don't want to go down 1-3. You know what I mean? You leaving less room for error. You know what I'm saying? So I want to stay ahead of the curve and not be 2-4 or 3-4 like we have been in years past, and we got to go on a winning streak. I don't want to. I don't want to have to do that. Now with the Cowboys, I'm with you. In regards to it may be a little more pressing of an issue for them to win this upcoming week because of just their personnel. I think it's a personnel thing with the Cowboys, but we knew that coming into the season. We knew that around draft time. You know, uh, their owner Jerry Jones, they just got whooped by the Ravens in reference to how they played in the trenches. They was able to run the ball against them, no problem. Derrick Henry out there throwing people around still with the stiff arm. And I think that was one of his biggest whiffs, it is not trying to pursue Derrick Henry. I know he said that they couldn't afford him, but that's another thing too. They don't have a running game, Malik, and they can't stop the run. So it's
Man, Aaron Jones was out there, bro. They ain't even get Aaron Jones. They didn't even try to get Aaron Jones, bro. I
word.
don't, I
Yeah.
don't get it, man.
So
Yeah,
I definitely feel like something could have been worked out. I mean, I get, having to pay CD and Dak. We thought Michael was going to get paid this offseason, but I guess he going to get that bag next offseason. My goodness. So even though they were showing clips on him. He was playing undisciplined against Lamar this past
yeah. Micah funny, man. He
season.
he was not containing at all.
At
Lamar was
all.
toying with him.
So, they got a couple issues over there in Dallas that they want to address. And hey, lo and behold, Washington is number one in that division right now. So we all know that's a division where they don't have repeat conference winners. Excuse me, division winners. So we're gonna see what happens. But yeah, I definitely think for personal reasons, I just don't want the 49ers to start slow because I have a lot of respect for my division that we play in, regardless of records. You know what I mean? And we always have battles, regardless of who it is. And then the Cowboys say, I mean, that's a tough division anyway. So, they go down 1-3. It could be tough to bounce back for them boys for sure. So, but we'll see.
Bruh, I want to address something too. I ain't like how threw some slight at Tutu. Let me tell you something about Tutu, bro. Tutu Atwell is nice as hell. Like nice as hell. He just don't fit all the way in our scheme. So McVay use him sparingly, bro. But like whenever we do decide to go to 2-2, like he is our deep threat. Like he is a big play receiver for us. But like the way our scheme is, and you know this, bro, like our receivers are going across the middle a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like McVay want bigger receivers out there, and he also wants receivers that's going to block because, we run the zone scheme. So that's why 2-2 don't play a lot, bro. He don't really fit all the way in the scheme. But that's why they won't let him go either, bro, because he like a big play receiver, bro. Like when we really truly need him, bro. Like but Tutu nice though, bro. For real, for real. He just don't fit all the way in our scheme. If he played for like the Chiefs or somebody, bro, like or something like that, yeah, he'd be able where he get more volume, like where the offense is a little more open for him. He'd have like better numbers. Not even saying he'd be a top tier receiver. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying he'd have more consistent numbers for sure. He just don't fit in our scheme all the way, bro, because he's small. Yeah,
Got you. Okay, so well,
yeah,
thank you for telling me that at least, because I'm like, dog.
yeah. If you look at Tutu's career, you'll see like random games, bro, where he'd go off. Like you know what I'm saying? It'll just be random weeks. McVay scheme him into the offense, where we need him. But like,
Got
yeah, he just small, bro. Like, so he don't like using him like that. Like that's why we got Demarcus Robinson. You know what I'm saying? Playing the number 3. He like a Demarcus Robinson will be like y'all's Jawan Jennings for us. You know what I'm saying? Like going across the middle, doing the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? Crack back blocks, all that stuff. Like that's we got just about the same scheme, bro. Y'all just run it. Cal Shanahan just got a little more crazier plays.
Cool. Good conversation there, fellas. I'm gonna switch it up on y'all just a tad. We got overreaction Tuesday coming, but I'm gonna ask it in true false fashion. I'm gonna ask you a question as far as the overreaction, and you just answer true or false. If you want to give some context. by all means do so. But I need that true or false first. All right. First, the Vikings will win the NFC North.
I'm
True.
going true. I'm going true, guys. I'm going true.
Hey,
I'm
true.
going true. They look good for real.
They
I ain't gonna
hey,
lie to you. They look good. I'm
what's
going true.
what's the coach's name again?
Brian Flores, the DC. He's
He
scheming it
dialing it
up.
up
He's
because
scheming it up. You gotta
they
get
shutting, but they had Houston, dog. I'm like back to
the
back week.
only the only thing I think that could stop that, bruh, is the Packers still playing good, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And they will get Jordan Love back eventually, so that could mess them up. But if the Vikings keep winning, they got the lead right now. So all they gotta do is keep winning for real, for real.
The Steelers have the best defense in the league.
I'm gonna go false. I
Oh,
think the Vikings look like the best defense in the league right now, league. I ain't gonna hold you. But that Steelers balling like crazy too, though.
if TJ Watt playing, yeah, I think the Steelers got the best D because if you look at their rosters, like specifically like their secondary, their corners or something, like what I'm saying, like you wouldn't think like that they would be that solid of a defense. But when you got TJ Watt being able to get after the ball like that, bruh, and Minka being able to control everything sideline to sideline, keep everything, bruh, I think they do, bruh, because you gotta just see how the Steelers win games, bro. Like, what I'm saying? They don't have a losing record ever, bro, and it's because of their defense, 100%. They win games they're not supposed to, specifically because of their defense, bro.
Word.
And it's been like that for a number of years. I think we got to give Tomlin some credit, man. Yeah. No, you know what? You know what? Man, that's false. No, 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 no. That's false. I got to give it to the Chiefs still, because the Chiefs can play different ways. Like, what I'm saying? If they got to stop the run, like Chris Jones is there to stop the run, and if they got to, defend the pass, they got the corners and Chris Jones is also there, to put the pressure on the pass game too. I think it's still the Chiefs because they can play multiple ways, man, for real, for real. Yeah, I think it's still the Chiefs. My bad. But I think the Steelers top three for sure. Like I think it's locked in. Yeah.
So we got two falses right there, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Too false. Yeah, it's a false. It's a false. I got excited.
Cincinnati won't make the playoffs this year.
True.
That's true.
You go 0-3, you normally don't make the playoffs. Like it's like a statistical fact, you know. So yeah, they're 0-3. I don't see it happening. But I called that before the year even started, though. I called the Bengals possibly missing the playoffs.
He did, and I did call for them to win the division. Quick
Yeah,
fun fact to bring it back.
I
So
did.
it's crazy. I'm not trying to jump. I'm not trying to jump Cincinnati.
Nah, yeah, it's early. They made runs in the past, so we got to
Yes,
give them the benefit of the doubt on that.
but it
But
seems
yeah,
highly unlikely.
it looks a little different this year.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson will be fired by the end of the season if the Jaguars don't turn things around.
That's true.
It is
That's true.
that is true, but it's sad though, Malik, because it's like y'all gonna keep fiddling through coaches. Like, bruh's had successful seasons. You know what I mean? And I think he does good with Trevor Lawrence. That's another conversation for another day. He keep it up. We're gonna have a real conversation about Trevor Lawrence up here.
He's
That
stinking it up.
that's really the problem. And you gonna cost Doug his job, Trevor. You gonna
Nah, that's a
cost him his
fact.
job.
That's why I said that. They not gonna get rid, bro. They paying him. They just paid him. They not getting rid of Trevor Lawrence. So it's gonna be Doug Peterson out the door for sure. Not saying it's right. Not saying it ain't Trevor stinking it up because it is. That's the truth. If this season is a tank, Drew, he's getting fired for sure. Yeah, that's true for sure.
I like Coach Peterson, man.
I do too, actually.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Well, hopefully they can turn it around. Last question I got for you guys. The Super Bowl did Lil Wayne dirty.
Oh man,
That's
bro, I don't
true.
want to get too. I don't want to get too deep on this. That's false. It's false.
Yeah.
And Wayne is the GOAT to me. Everybody know. I tell people it don't matter. Wayne is the GOAT to me. He's my GOAT.
Hmm.
But it's false, man. Like it's a lot behind it. You know, um, I'm not here for the conspiracy theories and the Drake fan trolls, who want to, make this deeper than what it is. Kendrick
Mm.
Lamar had a great year.
Yeah, that's all it
He
is.
had the
He
best
hot right
year.
now. He
Yeah,
hot right now.
he hot as fish grease. Like it's not
Just
even a
just off of
question.
that one song, honestly.
Two, Kendrick puts a better show on than Wayne. I've seen Wayne in concert. I've seen a
Yeah.
Kendrick concert, not in person, but they got the joint on Amazon Prime. If you
I
ever
heard
want to go
Kendrick
watch,
has a good concert.
great concert, Dre. It's on Amazon Prime. If y'all ever want to just watch a show, it's his last tour is on Amazon Prime right now. You can watch it. Um, so that's two and three. That's why I said I'm not getting into the conspiracy theories because Kendrick is hot. The Super Bowl ain't never been based off of who's from the place where the Super Bowl is. You know what I'm saying? They did that with Dr. Dre and them, you know what I'm saying? And it worked out, but let's be honest with you. He was headlining with Eminem and Mary J. Blige. Eminem's from Detroit. Mary J. Blige and 50 Cent are both from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. Dre doesn't have that many songs on his own. He's a producer. You know, so yeah, it's just false. You know what I'm saying? And I say that, humbly for sure, because Wayne is my GOAT. But I don't understand what the outrage is. Kendrick is hot right now. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody gotta be mad about some.
About something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see if they
Hot
just
right
featured them or something like that, but that's not how the Super Bowl is set up. The Super Bowl is set up for, one artist, and you never know what Kendrick may do to, you know, big up Wayne, or, he might have brought him on. I know they
He
ain't got
might
no
bring him out.
songs.
It might
Yeah.
not happen now because
But
they done made
Because
that
that
they
the
video
made
Wayne
that.
lingo.
made,
You
yes,
know what I'm
hey.
saying? Like,
They
yeah,
said
like
Wayne shouldn't have did that, cuz
nah, he shouldn't have, bro. I
Oh yeah,
tweeted
he
that.
made
Yeah, the sad video.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But people be all up in their feels and stuff. And
but hear me out, because I love Wayne like Malik does too, and Malik knows Wayne, and I got this from bro. Like he literally is the reason why I be in my own world, because I know I can control what I consume, what I watch, what I read, all that. Because he be oblivious to stuff. So I'm like, for him to be out of the loop on a lot of stuff, I'm shocked that, you know what I'm saying? Because normally that type of information wouldn't even make it to his desk. He wouldn't even be tripping. I feel like somebody put him up to that. So that's why I'm kind of not hard on him about that. I feel like somebody put him up to do that so they could get a reaction, possibly. You feel me? Because even Juvie, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Juvie, the great Juvenile. Even he came out and was spazzing on Hove and Roger Goodell. And I'm like, bro, come on, man. Y'all making it so deep. But I don't know.
yeah, it ain't like that. Wayne can't, bro. Like, isn't like I said, I ain't getting too deep into it, but it ain't like Wayne still ain't gonna have an opportunity to do a Super Bowl, possibly. And Wayne ain't a Saints fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people in New Orleans know that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, they love Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? But they also, got issues with Wayne because Wayne be talking shit about the Saints. Like, it's documented. He's a Packers fan, if you want to even get into little stuff like that. But yeah, it's an outrage that's not needed. I don't think Wayne got dirty for real. Got done dirty.
ooh, now it's time for our segments. Um, we got our CSN Player of the Week for the NFL. Who you got?
Player of the week for the NFL. Jaden Daniels. I was gonna go him or Sam Darnold, but Jaden
I got
Daniels.
him on my fantasy team. Hey y'all, this quick sidebar, and this is for you, bro. Look, Malik, the team that Kayvon helped me pick,
Uh-huh.
we are 0-3 on my fantasy league. The team that picked automatically, remember I told y'all I missed the draft.
Uh-huh.
I'm 2-1.
I told you that one
So
set you up right. That's hilarious, Kay. I beat Kay in fantasy this past week, man.
that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you, you did me dirty, bro. That's crazy.
You muted, bro.
You muted, bro.
Hey, Malik can tell you normally I'm at the top. This year is crazy in fantasy though. Oh my gosh. It's
Yeah, you got
crazy.
some injuries over there for sure.
Yeah, man, it's
Uh,
tough. It's tough.
Hate when that happens.
It's tough.
Who you got, bro, for the player of the week?
I was gonna say my dog, even though we didn't win, you know what I'm saying? Jawan Jennings had a career day. 11 catches, 175, 3 TDs. Like he was going
He
nuts.
did. He went crazy. I was so mad in the crib. I'm like, bro, y'all let Jennings have like his best game ever, bro. Like
Ever. We are our listeners. Malik and I are SEC fans because both of our favorite college teams are in the SEC. We both played Tennessee. We know cuz. We remember him from college. He ain't never played like that. He was going crazy. You hear me? Crazy, Drizzy. Like, I'm like, yo. And shout out to Brandon Ayuk, man. He getting a lot of flack right now. But if you go watch the film, the Rams was giving him a lot of attention. That's the reason why Jawan, had those one-on-one opportunities. So I just want to, set the record straight on that.
no Kittle, no Debo. It was, I'm surprised Juwan Jennings did that, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He was
I was
getting deep.
mad in the crib. I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna be able to talk trash about this no more. Because he did it to us.
Um, Next segment we got our CSN pick six. Leak, give me three. K, give me three. What y'all got?
Hold on one second, because I got them written down somewhere. Okay, here we go. I'm taking the Ravens -2.5 versus the Bills. Um, that will be your Sunday night game. I will take the Rams +3 versus Chicago. I'm kind of shaky on that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like betting on my team, but coming off that win, I think we got some confidence about us. But also the way we play defense, we might, end up being the game where not Caleb Love, but Caleb Williams, finds his groove a little bit, and then I'm gonna go the Jaguars +7 versus the Texans. It's kind of a must win for the Jags, and we'll it's kind of like a defining game for Trevor Lawrence too for me. You know what I'm saying? So I expect them to hang tough there. I don't know if they'll win it, but I expect them to play much much better. So that'll be my three.
Got you. So my three, this is going to be a little interesting because of how the Cowboys been playing, and this is a division game, but this is a must win, I feel like, for them. So it's a Thursday night game. They get to turn it around real quick in reference to Dallas because they just played on Sunday. I got them -6 against the Giants Thursday night. I'm taking the Giants on, I'm taking Dallas on that -6 against the Giants. The next, we have the Bengals and the Panthers. Although the Bengals are traveling, it's another must-win game for them as they are 0-3. I don't really like what the Panther their roster, even though Andy Dalton just went crazy this past Sunday, right? I'm taking the Bengals at -4.5 in that game. And then last but certainly not least, I got the safest bet, I feel like. Chiefs and the Chargers. All these are visiting teams that I mentioned in the end that I'm taking, but I'm definitely taking the Chiefs over the Chargers at -8.5. So those are my three to pair with Malik's three for our CSN pick six segment.
You all have any games you looking forward to in the NFL this week?
Bills Ravens,
Yeah, that's going to be a banger, Malik. I
and
think
then I
that
think Packers
Seahawks
Vikings
Lions,
play too.
they
Don't
do.
Packers? Yeah. That'll be my what you just said too. That'd be the three games right there for sure.
Yeah. Yep, Seahawks Lions. Outside of that, I mean, of course, well, I do think that Saints Falcons game will be interesting. That may be, a potential. We'll see, but you know, that could be a tough NFC South matchup later on in the season. They could be contending for their division, so we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, man, those are some of the games I'm looking forward to, man. We got some division rivalries going, with the Cowboys, Giants, Vikings, Packers, Saints, Falcons. So Eagles, Buccaneers game should be interesting too, as well.
Bucks be
Who
playoffs.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. That's all I got for you guys for the NFL. Moving on to college football. Give me some takeaways from week 3.
Takeaways from week 3 for me, Tennessee looks Tennessee looks pretty good. Oklahoma was hanging with them, for a little bit, but they couldn't really put nothing together offensively. You know, so I thought Tennessee, looked good. I still think I think Michigan gonna be a tough game for a lot of people, and I still got them losing a couple more games, but how they upset USC, everybody
That was
thinking
crazy.
USC was going to beat them. I told you there was a formula for them to win. They just had to run the ball. I did not expect for them to run the ball like that, so much so where it's a minute left in the game and they still running the ball and they need to score and the running back breaks. So I think Michigan found a little formula to help their team out because they are struggling offensively. Um, and then last probably be Texas looked good. Arch had his first start, with Ewers out, he had some ups and downs, but once he really settled in, you know, looked like, almost the same team, so I think Texas is still looking pretty good as well. That's probably my takeaway, so for sure.
Yeah, Arch didn't look as good as I thought he would, Malik. But I mean,
He had a couple early turnovers. That's
he's
why I
still
say
young.
once he got it together. Yeah, that's why I said they need Ewers to win it. Arch ain't ready just yet to take them over the top.
Right.
But it's good to see that he do got the talent to play at that level.
Um, One of my biggest takeaways was just how Colorado finds to win some of these games in dramatic fashion, man. I think Shador showed a lot of poise. I think he played a great game this past weekend against Baylor. And that was one of my biggest takeaways, man, was just how he played. Um, Kansas State laid an egg against BYU. It was a unique weekend as far as, some upsets are concerned. Oklahoma State got
The
beat.
Kansas State, bruh. Kansas State didn't even show up.
Yeah, it was a tough weekend for some teams, but that was my biggest takeaway is like Shador is legit, man. He's official. I didn't like that comparison some tried to make on the lines. I'm not gonna get into it, but bro definitely showed some promise in my personal opinion. So I just
Comparison. What comparisons?
they were saying that if Carson Beck was at Colorado, they wouldn't be good. But if Shador was at Georgia, they'd be the best team in the nation. And I'm just like, that's it's kind of a tough comparison. You know what I'm saying? Because
But
Georgia,
I like Shador. I think Shador definitely he'll go. I think Ewers will go one, but I think Shador will go two. Those will be the top two quarterbacks taken for sure. I
you
like
think
Shador.
you think Shador go over Milrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's high on people's draft boards to my surprise. Listen, y'all know I'm a diehard Alabama fan. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. He's high on a lot of people's boards, higher than what I anticipated. So
Because Milrow, bruh, if Milrow could like find some touch, you know what I'm saying? That's why this year with DeBoer is going to be good for him. I'm anxious to see how he, continues to grow throughout the year. But if he can find, a way to put some touch on his passes, bruh, that's a special talent right there, bruh. Like,
Would he
yeah,
just be launching a joint or something?
he got a
he
strong
he
arm,
got a
man.
strong ass arm, Dre. Like
He
every
just
throw
be
looks like a
launching it.
dart. Like
Yeah,
yeah, like every throw looks like a dart. Like it's crazy. Yeah, but nah, if he could, he remind me of Anthony Richardson, low key. Like you know what I'm saying. I think Anthony Richardson was a little bit more polished passing,
yes,
but they both got lively arms. They both can take off on you, you know what I'm saying, if they need to, you can use them in the run game, whatever you want. He is special talent though, bro, for real, for real. So I know why people high on him. They just got to see it, because it's going to be a project for sure.
got you.
Yeah. Shout out to Shador though. And this is another conversation for another day, but they definitely had to make that move to Colorado for him to, show and prove that he could play with the best of them. Because again, I'm sure he's grown as a player, but if he would have stayed at Jackson State, he not, you know. top two quarterback being picked in the draft, as Malik just mentioned. So
Yeah.
again, another conversation for another day. Um, Going to go through some key games that we have this week. Um, give us a quick preview and your prediction on who you got winning these games. So we got number two Georgia at number four Alabama.
Roll Tide, definitely, a big matchup for us, biggest matchup of the season for Alabama to this point. Most anticipated game, I would say, of the season for us at this point. I'm looking forward to seeing how we respond. Georgia got a bad taste in their mouths from how we did them in the SEC championship. I know they were expecting to win and go back to the Natty. And if y'all look at their last, couple losses over the years, it's both been to Alabama. You understand what I'm saying? So they're going to come in there with a chip on their shoulder. I know coach is going to have them inspired, motivated to, right that wrong, but we got to make sure we match that energy. That's why I said I'm looking forward to seeing how we respond to that. Defensively, man, we got to be on point. We're stopping the run first and foremost. They don't have any weapons that scare me, Malik. So I feel like if we could stop the run, and our secondary can hold it down against Carson Beck and stay disciplined. And I feel like we should have somebody spying him because Carson Beck is athletic. I'll give it to him. You know what I mean? I feel like we'll have a great chance to win this game, man. We just can't start off slow like we have in recent weeks, man. You know what I mean? So we got to get a stop and get some points on the board early. But I think Coach DeBoer gonna be able to draw something up against them boys, man. He's a coach that, if y'all look at, his games that he had against other formidable coaches, man, he has a winning record. So hopefully he can continue this trend. That's one of the reasons why he was brought over because of how, he produces and, has his team playing in big marquee games like this. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity, man, to show the world what we can do and how good we are, man. So Roll Tide. And I got Alabama winning, man. Got us winning the game 27 to 20.
Malik, you want to add anything to it? Who you got?
I'm taking Alabama, but uh, they got weapons. You said you ain't scared of none of their weapons. They got some weapons. I'm just letting you know. You
Yeah.
know, don't be shocked if you see something you wasn't expecting Saturday. They got 5 stars all over the place over there, man. But yeah, I'm taking Alabama though. I like Alabama in this
You
game.
know what's crazy? Um, now I'm. Where's the game at? In Georgia?
It's in Alabama.
Alabama.
It's in
It's in
Alabama.
T-Town.
Dang. I wonder if my our RVP, our region vice president, his son plays for Georgia.
Mm, that's hard.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Sound like a potential plug too.
For sure. He used to play. He played football at A&T. Um, so we be locked in. So,
Word.
but yeah, his son plays for Georgia. It just like dawned on me, like, dang, I need to be getting some tickets. Anyway,
Malik said Athens, Georgia is beautiful. So
it
I like
is.
Athens.
Why was I there? I've been there before. I
It's a
can't
small
remember.
college looking town, bro. Like,
Yeah. I
you
can't remember why I was there, but I've definitely been there before. Have I played Georgia? I don't know. I don't remember. Um, Next I got number 20 Oklahoma State and number 23 Kansas State.
uh,
I'm
they
taking
both,
Oklahoma State.
yeah, I'm taking OK State too. They both had letdowns in their Big 12 openers. We just got done talking about K-State, how they just sold against BYU, right? But OSU's quarterback got benched in the second half, man. They weren't really putting up points on the board. He had some early turnovers. So, but I'm taking Gordon and OSU, man. Hopefully they'll be able to right that wrong from losing last week and get the dub this week against K-State, and I think they will. So I'm taking OK State as well.
Number 15 Louisville and number 16 Notre Dame.
All right, so I'm gonna look at this as a must win for Notre Dame because if you look at his his record against ranked teams, it's not very good at the moment. And I like Notre Dame's coach. You know what I mean? I try to support our brothers and our sisters, whatever they're doing in the sports world. And I would like for him to have success. But I do think it'll be tough though. Notre Dame is still struggling in the pass game. They just threw their first touchdown pass against Miami of Ohio last week, Malik. So and they're also going up against a team that's ranked 18th in passing offense in reference to Louisville. So that's somebody that that can strike fast. So they want to be mindful. But Notre Dame is still one of the top ranked teams as far as points allowed in the nation. So we'll see how the game plays out. It's definitely a risky game because I think Louisville looks good. You know what I mean right now as it currently stands. But I'm still taking Notre Dame. Who you got, brother?
Yeah, I still like Notre Dame's defense, so I'm taking Notre Dame as well. But I do think Louisville has been looking good though. I'm gonna ride with Marcus Freeman one more time.
Lastly, we got number 19 Illinois and number 9 Penn State.
Yeah, Illinois.
I'm
Give me
surprised you ain't bring
Illinois
them up
again.
earlier, late.
Give me Illinois again, man. Another upset.
Word.
Another one. They about to pull off another one.
And that's another team because I like Coach Franklin. That's another team I feel like this a must win just for your resume. You got to get this one. You know what I'm saying? And it's at Penn State. Like, come on. So
Um, I would like Franklin to be a coach we take a look at when it comes to Florida looking for a new coach. I think he might just need a change of scenery, you know. But we'll see though.
Coach Saban made a good point about y'all. He was like, y'all should have updated the facilities when y'all had Urban Meyer still. I couldn't agree more. 'Cause I'm like, that's such a
Fuck
prestige university.
facilities, man. Fuck the facilities, bro. The administration is terrible, for real, for real. That's part of what I'll talk about in my 2 minutes, for real.
Got you.
And you all kind of already answered this last question I had for college football. But as far as that Texas starting QB, who do y'all think it should be going forward?
Quinn Ewers.
Ewers. Until Ewers is ready to play, of course they're gonna start Arch, but yeah, like I said earlier, they need Ewers to win it. They got a team that's good enough to actually win the whole thing. They'll need Quinn Ewers playing quarterback to do so. Arch will be ready next year.
And there's nothing wrong with that, young brother. You ball 1 year and be a top pick in the NFL. So
It's a fact.
Amen. Amen. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna take you all through some women's basketball slash WNBA news. First to start off, there's been a couple of drafts that have come out. Most of them having Paige Beckers at number one. Then you got Kiki Irafin at number two from USC. She played. Where did she play at last year? Um, I can't remember where she played at last year. I had to do some,
who'd
but
you
she's the
say?
forward. Kiki, uh, Ir Ifrin. She's like the forward. She like a 4/5. She was
She from
getting bucket.
Stanford.
Yes, yes, there it was. There it was. Um, but she's at USC now. So USC is gonna be nice. They're gonna be nice next year because we still got the infamous Juju. Um, but Anissa Morrow from LSU at number three. A pick from France at number four. Um Barker from UCLA at number five, and then Olivia Miles from Notre Dame are some of the top picks. Also, want to mention Tiana Pow Pow from South Carolina at number 11, and then Sanaya Rivers from NC State. They have her mocked at number 10, at the number 10 pick right now. Um, Also, it was a big week in WNBA news where Aja Wilson won the MVP award unanimously. So she's been the first person to win it unanimously since 1997, I believe, and that's when the league was founded. Um But the question is is her MVP season the best MVP season or the greatest MVP season ever? Aja averaged what she averaged 27 points, 12 rebounds, 2.6 blocks, almost 3 blocks, 2.3 assists. Um, and right now her player efficiency is 35.2. So ESPN has her ranked at number one. Some close seconds. Cynthia Cooper they have at number two from the Houston Comets, who was the second or the other person who was unanimously picked when the league founded, and she averaged 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Um, but some other notable names they have on here is Neka Agumake from the Sparks. Then you got Elena Deladon, who's a legend, Lauren Jackson, a legend, Cheryl Swoops, Sylvia Fowles, Lisa Leslie, Brianna Stewart, Maya Moore at number 10 with her 23 points, 23.9 points, 8 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 2 steals a game. Um, I don't know if they kind of being biased, but that sounds like a great stat line, just kind of depending on wins and losses or whatever the case may be. But definitely wanted to give Asia her flowers. That's who we should be talking about as, a GOAT. She's definitely etched her name in stone with some of the best to ever do it, and she continues to get better year after year. And I just watched her, watched them play on Sunday. Just, relentless plays, pretty much the whole game. And she gonna give it to you on both sides of the basketball. So she's also in the running for defensive player of the year. So we'll see if she gets, both awards when that drops. Um Speaking of playoffs, so just to kind of run down the scores and the standings of the playoffs. The Liberty just beat out the Dream, so they swept them in the series and move on to the next round. Sun beat the Fever in game one. The Lynx won a close game against the Mercury in game one, and then the Aces beat the Storm. And they're actually playing right now. They're game two. So if the Aces win, that's a clean sweep. They'll move on to the next round. But if not, it'll go to game three. The Sun, Fever, and Lynx and Mercury, they all play again tomorrow. Um, Another just notable moment. The LA Sparks have just fired their head coach, Kurt Miller, after 2 seasons. The LA Sparks finished, bottom of the league. They were the worst team in the league this year. And I believe they finished bottom two last year. So not much time to, turn that thing around. He's up out of there. Hopefully they get, some more notable and players, former players that, could step up and be coaches because it's a lot of random coaches in the WNBA. I'm not gonna lie, like some people I've never heard before. But that's neither here nor there. Um, so hopefully, LA Sparks are able to get some folks in there. And speaking of the mock draft, LA is expected to have the number one pick, and they will have Paige Becker. So, if you have Paige Beckers, Rakia Jackson, Cameron Brinks when she comes back, that's a nice little core, if they are able to get that number one pick next year. And then a question I have for the group. Diana Taurasi is one of my favorite black basketball players ever. And in their big comeback. They fell short the other day to start the playoffs, but she showed glimpses of her old self. But my question to the group is Diana Taurasi tarnishing her career by holding on? Because I hear y'all say it's a lot of, Diana, she old, she need to sit her old ass down, blah, blah, all this. But do we feel like she's tarnishing her career by continuing to play?
Sue Bird did it.
Nah,
Yeah, Sue Bird did it.
I think she locked in, as a legend. You know what I'm saying? I think, a lot of that was just, centered around, some of the comments she made, about Caitlin Clark specifically, and then her, having uh, having a spot on the Olympic team. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she shouldn't have. I'm just saying this is why some of the people,
Have
was
opinions.
pushing that opinion on her. But I think she locked in as a legend. I don't think
But
there's nothing you can do about that for real. For real.
right, but with that being said though, like, our culture is more of a what have you done for me lately type culture. And you got all these fair weather fans, new fans coming in, like who is Diana Taurasi because they haven't been around the game now. I mean, long. You feel what I'm
Bad.
saying? So
It's bad.
yeah.
If you don't know who Diana Taurasi is, like you truly new to like basketball
Or
type.
you
Right.
just
And
young. Or
a lot
Too
of
stupid.
people,
young.
but you gotta think a lot of people are, you know what I'm saying, if we bring it in, if we talking about the new fan base and just the culture in general now, it's like, yeah, for those of us who know basketball, I think we kind of take for granted, like, yeah, obviously she's stamped, but I think a lot of people look at it differently just because she's, older and
Yeah,
maybe hasn't done a lot of stuff like.
a lot of people is trolls for real. For real. I was going like for real, for real. This was going to be like part of my 2 minute topic. I was going to have like just about the conversations in the NBA. Specifically, about how Caitlin Clark, and all the hoopla has been around her. You know what I'm saying, and her fans. Like the internet is lame because people have a voice that don't really matter. But to other people whose voices also don't matter, like it gets amplified, you know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of trolls and stuff, just engagement farming, you know what I'm saying? Like uh pushing like narratives, just trying to go viral, so they can, I don't know if they're trying to monetize or if they trying to, just push true division, you know what I'm saying? You never know with weirdos on the internet, but that's just something you gotta deal with. I know a lot of people was I know a lot of the discussion has been about like Caitlin Clark's fans and how vocal they are and how disrespectful they are, you know what I'm saying, and how weird they are, you know what I'm saying? Like let's be honest with you. Getting people's addresses and stuff like that, and phone numbers and calling them because you don't like their commentary, like all that stuff is weird. But what I wanted to, bring it full circle about was like the WNBA is growing. You know what I'm saying? And K know this because it's like that on the men's side. Bro, it's trolls. It is trolls, and they got loud voices on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. It's never going to stop because that's just the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? So like, yes, it is weird when they are doing stuff and actually attacking people and actually, you know, trying to get their information, you know what I'm saying, so they could troll them even harder, like off of the internet. And it is messed up, but that's just the way new fanhood is. You got people that's popular, like on YouTube and stuff, talking about the game, and they never played the game a day in their life, you know what I'm saying? But they got huge fan bases that really want to hear what they got to say because, you know, either people are weird, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, want to push division, or, just people want to feel like that their opinion matters too, is people that agree with some of these trolls, you know what I'm saying? So that's why stuff gets amplified. But like the trolls ain't going nowhere. And the WNBA, like I'm telling you, it's gonna get worse as the league grows. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna get worse with more players. Like, like you just gonna have to figure out how to weed it out. It's always gonna be them weirdos like like I've been critical of Cheryl Swoops, you know what I'm saying? Don't even get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be weirdos that's gonna try to, you know, try to antagonize her, like, like in a crazy, crazy way because they feel like they can do that. They feel comfortable being able to hide behind whatever screen they choose, you know what I'm saying, and do that. Not saying it's right. I'm just telling you exactly where fanhood is and how weird these people are. And the trolls ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I swear to God, they not going nowhere, you know.
And Stephen A is the leader of them. I'm just,
No, no, I
I'm
got a
just
problem with Stephen A. and Acho and Shannon Sharp for real, for real. Like, but I'm Team Caitlyn. You know what I'm saying? I've been pushing my Caitlyn agenda. I've been pushing back on the other side, but also like every topic don't gotta be a Caitlyn topic. Like you know what I'm saying? Like to get the hits.
that's all I was trying to say, brother. That's
Like
all I've been trying to say.
like it's all right to do like I know their last segment was like them kind of doing a victory parade like saying because the season had ended, Caitlin's making all WNBA, what I'm saying, unanimous rookie, so they wanted to get get back on some of the pushback that they seen, but like me watching it and it was like, and me, what I'm saying, I had been on the pushback earlier, but like me watching it yesterday or the day before yesterday, I can't remember, it was just like, dog, all right, what I'm saying? Y'all proving y'all's point now, what I'm saying? But now, like, as I've always spoken about, if y'all want to continue to grow the game, you got to have more topics at hand. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be
Right.
all Caitlyn. You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
nobody want to just
Yeah,
talk Caitlyn
it's
the
it's,
whole
it's just
time.
going to be a divisive conversation every time too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like if you really truly want to grow the game, they gotta start spreading these topics out. Caitlyn did her thing. You know what I'm saying? You gonna fall on whatever side you fall on anyway. But let's continue to keep growing the game for real, for real. But I
Right.
promise you ain't gonna have to. The trolls is here. That's what
Right.
it is. Like it's people that like what Stephen A. the bull stuff Stephen A. be saying sometimes. Like it's people that really be trying to push that. It's all weird. Like don't get me
Right.
wrong. It's all narratives for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, I I just wanted to give you all some insight on the conversation that I had with my granddad, right? And he's one of the new like WNBA fans because he, openly admitted he's like after you stop playing basketball, like I really didn't have a need to watch it, blah blah. So he's new to the game and he's like Caitlin Clark's the best and her team's gonna win the championship and I'm like, Granddad, no, they're not. Like they're not gonna win. And he's like, yeah, all these girls are hating on her. They don't want to talk about her, blah, blah. So this is how I had to put it for him. I'm like, my granddad, he works at a bank, right? So I'm like, you work at bank X, right? So we'll just say he works for BB&T. BB&T is no longer in business right now, but let's just say for instance he works at BB&T. And I'm like, you work at BB&T. BB&T is a great bank, right? You guys make a lot of money and you're good at your job, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, so would it be fair to say that the only reason that BB&T is good or ranks high in whatever national rankings is because of you, Hilton Nazario? And he's like, I'm like, yeah, you good at your job, right? Yeah, I'm good at my job. But are you the sole reason that BB&T has, all its customers, it makes all its money, so on and so forth? And he's like, nah, I wouldn't say that. Same with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is great at her job, right? But she's not the sole reason that the WNBA is growing. It's been growing over the last 5, 6 years as we've
She's exacerbated it though. We gotta acknowledge that she has
she helps
exacerbated.
it. She does help it, right?
Angel
And
Reese too though. Angel
yeah,
Reese, they both got
and
a
we're
fan
not, and
base.
I'm not taking that away from him, but my point was she's not the only reason, right? You can't be
Mhm.
the only reason in a corporation or entity. There's no way possible that happens. And then I'm like, secondly, as far as her peers are concerned, again, you work for BB&T, somebody comes to you asking you about Wells Fargo. How does that make you feel? He's like, well, I'm not Wells Fargo and BB&T, we do good work. Well, so does, whoever Caitlyn is playing against, because again, we're just looking at numbers. They're ranked number 6 or 7 at the time, and you're asking numbers 1 through 5 about number 6 and 7 all the time. And even before then, they were 11, 12, they ended up making their way back. But for somebody to ask the cream of the crop about the bottom of the crop, you know what I'm saying, all the time, that I'm like, that would get annoying, right? He's like, yeah, I guess that get annoying, but we have good products. So I would just tell him about our good product. And I'm like, well, that's what they're doing. They're like, focus on me, not on Wells Fargo, because I'm BB&T. You feel what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah,
how I
they
kind of
got a gripe with that for sure. Like the players that's playing right now, like they got a great with that. Like we don't want to always talk about like even like when she first come in the league, you want to talk about the the influx her and Angel Reese bringing cool. You know what I'm saying? But like when we actually start hooping, like you said, we at
Let's
the
talk
top of the
about all of it.
standings. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about everything. Like I
Right.
feel that 100%. I think
Right.
my only pushback was people letting the fans, the trolls, what I'm saying, seep into like there was a conversation where I see a lot of former WNBA players feeling like they were getting disrespected. And that's what I was trying to say. Like they built the league, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that they probably not used to, this attention on social media, but the trolls gonna get them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what the trolls do. They gotta be able to ignore that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was speaking on like the older players, you know what I'm saying? Like, or Diana Taurasi speak specifically, you know what I'm saying? And then like the retired former players, like that was having like little comments in the media, I felt like that they think that they were, not getting their just due for building what it has turned into now, what these girls have taken it to now. And I think, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, they got to know they legendary. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't let stuff like that get to them. Like they're legends. Like that can't be taken away. Like what they've done. So I think that was my pushback. But you are 100% correct, Dree. Like the girls that's playing now, like because I know how I am as a competitor. I ain't gonna want to keep talking about somebody else every time I play. I didn't went out there and did my thing. You know what I'm saying? And you asking me about somebody else that's really not on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so I
Right.
feel that 100%,
Right.
1,000,000%. I feel that. Yeah.
Right. So those were just my points in reference to it. And again, not taking anything from Caitlin. She's a great player. But again, big ups to
Got to be
all the
more
women.
topic. Yeah.
Right. All the women, all the teams, a lot of people have broken records from a attendance standpoint, from, whatever we talked about, Asia just having a legendary season that deserve that attention. And again, we could spin it however we want to, and we kind of know why the narrative is what it is, but we see that kind of dying down now because
Yeah.
of, uh, outside factors or whatever that have nothing to do with the game. So again, that was just my little spiel in reference to the WNBA. But again, just want to give those girls a shout out, and I want to go catch the rest of this game. So
Lake, you ready?
Yeah, man.
Introducing a new segment, man. 2 minute warning. Malik, man, what you got for us? 2 minutes.
Bro, I was thinking about this joint, man, and I went back and forth about topics. I even text Kay about one topic, like I was ready to go crazy. But I'm gonna keep this topic super personal to me. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm cutting into my 2 minutes and I'm doing this on purpose because I don't know if I'll need 2 minutes exactly for this, because I can talk about it all day. But specifically, I want to talk about my Florida Gators, bro. We got a win this weekend. I had a clean sweep in football this weekend, college, NFL, and fantasy,
Wow.
so beautiful. Didn't think I'd see one all season. I'm not going to lie to you. But the Florida Gators specifically, yeah, we're in a bad spot right now, man. And I just got some things I want to vent about. Hey, you were talking about earlier, um, and this is where I want to start. You were talking about earlier what Nick Saban said on game day, about our program, and us not taking advantage of the facilities when Urban Meyer was having his heyday. And Coach Saban is right. And I'm happy Coach Saban went on national TV and sparked this into a real conversation. That's how you know he a real coach and knows what it takes to build a program. Um, he is correct that we haven't had, that we have been behind, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the old things of what used to matter in recruiting, as far as facilities, and um, what else do I want to say? As far as facilities and just media, being on top of things, being on top of the trends, stuff that kids actually look for, uniforms, you know what I'm saying? Black uniforms, essentially, you know, um, for sure. Uh, we have always been behind when it comes to things, you know what I'm saying? And I think right now, where we at now, it's an administration problem, 100%. The administration, the boosters, we have to do better. And I know the boosters probably don't want to get behind the administration, you know, because the administration has, given us four failed coaches, in a row, since Urban Meyer, and that's just a revolving door of coaches. Nobody's going to want to put money into a program that they not receiving, you know, they're
Return
not
on
seeing
investment.
return on investment. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what boosters are. Like they give money, but that's because they want something in return. They want to see the program do good, And Florida right now, according to recruiting rankings, we have a top 12 roster, bro, in all of the nation based off of recruiting rankings. And recruiting rankings definitely miss, don't get me wrong, you know, but not this much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ending it with, like I said, this is a deeper topic than anything, and I'm not gonna go in on Coach Billy Napier how I want to because I also think he is a foundational piece. And what the problem is, I don't think he's that good of a coach as far as head coach speaking. But I wanted to speak on, I'm glad Nick Saban brought it to the forefront about the administration, how poorly of a job they're doing. Florida is a top three public school, always normally hovers at number one, you know what I'm saying? And we're treating it like we're an Ivy League school. Football is the heartbeat of every single program. They bring in the most money, and it's no different at Florida, So the administration they got to get this next hire right. You know what I'm saying? I know I went over my time because I spoke a little bit earlier, but that's why I wanted to reference, like, this is a deep topic for me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm so happy Coach Nick Saban put them on blast on national TV because that has been a conversation behind the scenes for years about Florida, bro. Like for years. We are always behind on everything, you know what I'm saying, including NIL, you know what I'm saying? Having as much money as we have, there's no reason our NIL should be a fumble thing, you know what I'm saying? No reason why everybody should be able to get theirs up before ours, you know what I'm saying? Like it's stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to talk about this. I'm glad Coach Saban called them people out, bro, because the fan base is getting louder, you know what I'm saying? But when you got like respectable people like that know what championship programs look like, that's all you need. You need that type of push right there. So I'm happy Coach Saban like went on TV and called us out, bro. Like 100%. Yeah.
Nah, for sure. And I thought that was hard. So, I just wanted to address that on the pod, and I'm glad you addressed it more in depth. So, again, that was Malik's new segment, 2 minute warning, something we're going to continue to do throughout the football season. When hoop season come, Dree got a segment coming called The Overtime, where she'll state her piece and address anything she wants to address. So with that being said, man, this your boy KVZ. I'm with Lead the God, Drizzy. Please continue to like, subscribe, share, and view the content. And we out, man. Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Peace.